Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you already know, if you do know, then groovy. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. Welcome back to more, excuse me, of a hometown Halloween, which we are doing for 2022. And also, just a disclaimer, I apologize if you can hear bass because my neighbors are doing it again. I know it was in the last video, which I actually recorded back in September. It is October right now, but the cryptid video, you can hear it, and I've been having some technical difficulties, so I just want to go ahead and apologize for that. But, you know, I would hate to be on this North Carolina serial killers list, so that's a joke, by the way. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to do some more North Carolina serial killers because I'm from North Carolina, and this is all, you know, that's what the hometown Halloween's about. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, I'm going to try and ignore that, and hopefully we can all just, you know, and also another disclaimer, these are more for, because I heard somebody was talking about on another person's channel that is, I don't do these all the time, this is just for Halloween, but, you know, she was talking about how this one creator is doing, like, basically talking about these serial killers and stuff and not really the victims and just talking about it for entertainment purposes. This is more for educational purposes and like stuff I didn't know, because usually like we got like Jeffrey Dahmer and, you know, he's really big right now again, and we got Ted Bundy, you know, all the basic popular serial killers. So I thought it would be fun to talk about North Carolina serial killers once again. You girls got her notes here, so all right. So the first one that we're going to talk about is Phillip Lee Ingle, who was born in August the 7th, or on August the 7th, 1961, and was executed September 22nd, 1995. Let's see. He murdered two elderly couples in North Carolina in 1991, which we will get to because I like to talk about the victims, definitely. And of course, put a little rest in peace thing at the end of these videos if I do videos like this. So yeah, which I will also leave a link below. So yeah, this guy, I will talk a little bit about him and like his background, which made him psycho, because I feel like he's a little more interesting actually. So yeah, so this guy was actually in the 80s. He also served time for breaking and entering in the 1980s. And he shot himself in the stomach when he was 18, so about 70s, I guess. Which then he was sent to Broughton Hospital. Broughton, you don't want to go to Broughton. I've never been there, but I have some family who are no longer with me who have been there. And yeah, from what I know, they still do shock treatments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they used to, which I know that was a big thing back in like the 40s and 50s. And honestly, shock treatment is still a thing now. It's just not nearly as bad. I don't know. I've never been to one, thankfully, so I wouldn't really know. I just know that. So that's one place that you did, like there was really something wrong with you if you went to Broughton. So yeah, but he was released 5 days after that and sent to Black Mountain on a 28-day program because he did have a history of alcohol abuse. July 1991, he broke into the home of William Fred Davis, who was 68, and Margaret Davis, who was 67. The door was unlocked, and he also knew them. He actually, like, kind of did work for them and stuff, like, you know, out in the yard and whatever. And so he walks in, and Margaret's over here in the kitchen, and her husband, William, was in the den watching TV, and he had the TV up super loud. So he did not hear what was about to happen to his wife. So basically, Philip had beat them to death with an axe handle he had in his car. And yeah, so 2 weeks later, he checks himself into a mental hospital, drunk and suicidal, and they treated him for alcoholism. They didn't even treat him for the other. And yeah, they failed to properly diagnose him. He had both, mental illness and substance abuse. So the Davis's 29-year-old son-in-law was actually suspected at first. But he was not linked. He had actually been clean because he was actually doing drugs and stuff. But he'd actually been clean since before his death, shortly after. Yeah, his death as well. So a month later, in August of 1991, Ingle crawled through the window of the home of, yes, I'm telling you, I wrote notes, of Easy Willis, who was 71, and Sarah Willis, who was 67, and beat them to death with a tire iron. Easy fought back with his cane, giving him a black eye, giving Phillip a black eye and a gash on his face, and yeah, he ended up going to work literally the next day. Or no, he skipped work. Excuse me, he skipped work. My bad, I can't even read my own handwriting sometimes, guys. Oh, Lord. So anyway, these two were discovered by their daughter in September. And then Melton became a suspect again and was questioned, which is the Davis's son. And yeah, so he was questioned again, and then he offed himself the next day, and his wife would not release the note. I don't know if I can say certain words on here, so I know I usually cut it out, but yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking that he did this because he was probably tired of being interrogated for something he didn't do, and like they kept suspecting him and, you know, interrogating him. I mean, he just got tired of it, so, but he wasn't on anything at the point, so anyways, and he didn't do it, so I mean, I can't really blame the dude, but sheesh. So anyway, Phillip Ingle later says that he envisioned his victims as demons with red eyes, horns, and tails, and he killed them to do God's work. And before he was arrested, he told a friend he enjoyed watching people die in agony. So yeah, that's pretty Halloweeny if you ask me. Very, very crazy. But at the trial, he says that he doesn't remember committing any of these murders. He wanted to die. He was sentenced to death. They waived all of his appeals, saying that he wanted the families of his victims to have peace. And he requested that he be cremated and scattered in the South Mountain State Park in Buck County Creek after being lethally injected on September 22nd, 1995. So that is Mr. Phillip Ingle. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Like, yeah, they should have just kept him in. Honestly, if they would have kept him in like a psychiatric ward or something, I don't think that any of these would have. Well, the last two, I don't think that they would have happened. So, yeah. So, yeah, and don't ask me if I remember seeing any of that on the news, because I wasn't born until 93, so I wouldn't have remembered anyway. So the next one and the last one that we're going to talk about for this month, if you guys want me to do these, you know, not during Halloween season, then let me know. I'll try to find some more. There are actually a couple more North Carolina serial killers, you know, that you probably didn't know about either, unless you're old enough or you were in the certain area of North Carolina. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do more, but I just don't want to make these too long. So anyway, our last one is going to be Charles Davis Lawson, who was born I keep saying in, y'all, May the 10th in 1886. And this one is really interesting because, well, let me get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. This man was an American tobacco farmer from Stokes County, North Carolina. And basically, he murdered his whole family and then himself in Germantown, North Carolina on Christmas Day. But see, this is let me go through the victims first. Hold on, we gotta go through the victims first. He murdered his wife, Fanny, who was 37, and his children. He has a lot of children, but not all of them. He did not murder one of his children. So I'm getting excited. I just want to say it so bad. And okay, the children was Marie, who was 17, Carrie, who was 12, Maybelle, who was 7, James, who was 4, Raymond, who was 2, and Mary Lou, who was 4 months. And Arthur, who was 16, is the one that avoided this because Charlie had sent him to do some errands. So, which is interesting. So yeah, pretty much he just shot everyone with a shotgun. And yeah, there's 2 theories about this. There's an incest theory, which there are books about. The incest theory came from a book called White Christmas, Bloody Christmas, which was written in 1990, with speculations and interviews from neighbors when this happened, because there were people that like heard this happen and were like near when this happened, so they heard the gunshots and stuff. And so yeah, and bystanders. And there's another book called The Meaning of Our Tears. I haven't read either one of these, but they're just, yeah, books that have this theory in it. So, but then the other theory is Lord, I can't even read my handwriting. Basically, it's that the mob did it, that this guy was Charlie, whatever, was in with the mob and he didn't pay up. And what they did is they actually went and murdered his whole family and made it look like he offed himself too. Sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at myself because I'm trying to figure out which word to use, and I keep wanting to say the S word, and I don't know if I will get demonetized for saying it. So, but yeah, so yeah, they think that Charlie had witnessed an organized crime, or that he had something to do with something, didn't pay him up about something, and that's what they did. They just decided to kill his whole family and him and make it look like, yeah, that. So, yeah, that's gonna be the last 2 serial killers for this Halloween season. I appreciate y'all watching, and once again, I apologize about that. And the last 2 videos that I don't think the one about Gary Newton had it in it, but yeah, I know the last one did. I'm sorry, guys, I can't. We've already talked to him, trust me. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps my tiny ass channel. And, you know, stick around for I'm going to come out with another video. I'm coming out with a couple more little surprise videos this month. Like, I think like one more than I usually do. So yeah, just stick around for Mondays and maybe Thursdays. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this, and if you would like to see more of that in the future. And yeah, I hope y'all are having a happy Halloween. And don't forget to keep it rocking.